All right, folks, I'm back. This is a follow-up video to the original one that I made on this semi-auto fire control group that's used on a PPS43 kit. They're real popular right now. If you'll notice, it's not complete because I've just completed some work on this, but the hammer's missing and part of the sear's missing also, and the hammer spring. But in its basic form, this is the issue. I mean, this thing flops around like a doggone dead fish. And this, you can see how much deflection is in this, and it's not acceptable. I mean, even for one of the people said, hey, this is a semi-auto, you know, you're turning it semi-auto submachine gun. It's like, yeah, but the original trigger wasn't even this sloppy with this. So I've done some modifications. One of the things is I could not find the pins, you know, these headed pins. So I'm going to end up making my own. So let me go ahead and take this apart and start showing you what I've done differently here. So the first thing that I've done differently, use one of these pins, is I've cut the slot in here, and that allows this transfer bar to slide right inside. So what happens is that transfer bar now will push directly against, in line. Let me move this out a little bit for you. Will push directly in line with this instead of off to the side. And with that, it tightens up some of that slop also, okay? Like I said, I could not find anybody who made these pins, okay, that have the head on them with an E-clip groove cut in it. And I'm in the middle of buying a house, so I'm staying in a rental right now, so I have no room for my my lathes and my mills. So I'm doing this stuff, you know, on the I wouldn't say on the cheap, but on the shade tree side. So what I'm doing is using a pin mic, small hole micrometer, and mic'd the actual holes on these. And I ended up just ordering pin gauges. They were cheaper than just about anything else that I got. So I've got 124, 125 thousandths pin gauges that work just perfectly, and they take up all of that slack, okay? So when I put these through, you can see there's a little bit of slack in this. This hole was not cut really perfect. It's got a high spot in the center, believe it or not, but it's still way, way tighter than it was before. So let me put this together for you folks here real quick so you can see the difference that these have made. And again, this is the trigger group right now is not absolute complete. The sear is missing on this right now, but it doesn't really have any effect on what I'm going to show you. So now there's bushings that go in here to keep this centered, okay? And if you remember that's how much movement we have now, okay? With the trigger assembly, we'll put this back in, and these pins are not complete yet. I'm still going to cut the grooves in them and cut them short. But what I want to show you folks is how much of a difference that having the correct pin in here. And again, I'm not trying to build a sniper rifle out of this thing, but just to have some trigger control that is going to be a little more realistic with this. Oh, I'll put that in backwards. Let me flip this around. You kind of have to push down on this when you do this. now, where I've cut the slot right here and here, I can put this transfer bar, instead of it being off to the side, this transfer bar is centered up. And I used a little Dremel tool with a cutting wheel on it to cut the groove, and use a diamond wheel to kind of polish it up. And here's all the pins sit into it, and you don't see that movement that we had before. And this transfer bar set up the way that it's set up, it pushes straight. So instead of pushing off to the side, where this sear you'd only have part of your sear catch the hammer, this is going to, break the whole way across. So this is, I'm not done with it. I still got to finish putting it together. I've got another pin for the hammer that I had to resize. It's like 162 thousandths. It was probably 4 or 5 thousandths bigger than the original pin that was in it. So when I get it all complete, I'll make another video. I haven't finished the build, so I can't show you it performing, but this is where we're at.